Dari kota terbaik di Indonesia, kota dengan catatan sejarah perjuangan dan nuansa kepahlawanan. Selamat datang di Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Lahir tahun 1964 sebagai Institut Keguruan Ilmu Pendidikan atau IKIP Surabaya, menjadi lembaga yang ditugaskan sebagai perguruan tinggi pencetak tenaga pendidik. Seiring dengan perkembangan kebutuhan pendidikan dan laju zaman yang kian melesat, UNESA menjaga marwah itu dengan meneguhkan diri sebagai pusat pengembangan pendidikan, pelestarian seni tradisional, ilmu keolahragaan, serta ramah disabilitas. Terus bertumbuh menjadi perguruan tinggi terkemuka, UNESA kini mengelola 7 fakultas yang terdiri dari 73 program studi S1 dan D4 serta 23 program studi pasca sarjana. Fakultas Ilmu Keolahragaan, Fakultas Bahasa dan Seni, Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Hukum, Fakultas Ekonomi, Fakultas Matematika dan Ilmu Pengetahuan Alam, Fakultas Teknik, Program Pasca Sarjana. Memiliki 2 klaster keilmuan, program studi berbasis kependidikan dan non-kependidikan, UNESA senantiasa meningkatkan kualitas penyelenggaraan pendidikan, memupuk tradisi ilmiah dalam penelitian, menggelorakan semangat pengabdian pada masyarakat, berjejaring berkolaborasi dengan pemangku kepentingan, serta mewujudkan pelayanan yang prima, transparan, dan akuntabel.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di Universitas Negeri Surabaya. Di usia ke-56 tahun ini, kami dengan bangganya mengajak Anda untuk lebih dekat dan mengenal tentang UNESA. Kami terus berkomitmen tidak hanya menyelenggarakan pendidikan terbaik bagi tenaga pendidik profesional masa depan, juga sangat berfokus untuk menciptakan lulusan yang berkarakter, tangguh, kreatif, inovatif, dan mampu berkolaborasi pada siapapun, berbudaya yang humanis dengan spesifikasi yang unggul dalam hal seni, olahraga, dan pendidikan disabilitas yang komprehensif.
Pendidikan tak hanya menjadi intisari keberadaan, tetapi juga menjadi nafas perjuangan. UNESA menjadi salah satu kampus penyelenggara program pendidikan profesi guru yang menghasilkan tenaga pendidik profesional. UNESA terus menyelenggarakan berbagai program pemberdayaan sebagai stimulus untuk mengembangkan sumber daya dosen dan mahasiswa. Pengembangan riset serta produk-produk inovatif menjadi solusi atas permasalahan yang ada pada masyarakat. UNESA, rumah para juara. Ekosistem yang mendukung dalam mencetak sumber daya manusia berkualitas, kompetitif, dan berwawasan global sehingga mampu bersaing di tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Kolaborasi adalah kunci kemajuan dalam upaya menjadi kampus berdaya saing global. UNESA berkolaborasi dengan sejumlah institusi berskala internasional, baik di bidang industri, pemerintahan, maupun institusi pendidikan. naik kelas dengan kelengkapan fasilitas. Sebagai wadah dalam mengembangkan minat, bakat, serta potensi mahasiswa, UNESA juga terus mengembangkan sarana dan prasarana yang mampu menunjang kegiatan akademik maupun non-akademik. Gor Futsal Internasional, Asrama Kontainer, Sport Center, Pusat Bahasa, Geraha UNESA, Student Activity Center, Jogging Track, Lapangan Berkuda, Gor Basket Internasional, Unit Kegiatan Mahasiswa, Seni, Pengembangan karakter dan kepribadian, olahraga. Aktivitas outdoor.
UNESA, 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 UNESA,
UNESA.
UNESA, satu langkah di depan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming and attending the ELT Best Practices 2020, the second edition this year. I'd like to thank you very much for your participation in this forum. I would like to say hello and welcome to all the participants and the speakers, especially the head of English department. I'd like to say thank you very much, Ibu Pratiwi Ratnaditya, PhD, who are joining with us this afternoon. Terima kasih Ibu Pratiwi joining with us. And also would like to say thank you very much, Pak Munir, head of English Language Education Study Program. Thank you very much, Pak Munir, for joining with us. And also would like to welcome the speakers, the three speakers from Al-Azhar, Ibu Eka, Devi. So thank you very much, and also thank you Ibu Yani from Hikmah Surabaya, and also the other one, I think Ibu Rahayu. I cannot see her on the video, but thank you very much. So this is a very great afternoon. So Bapak Ibu, to open this forum, would like to say again that this is the regular event hosted by English department to provide a space for English teachers, practitioners, and also students to share experience and best practice in the teaching of English. So before we go into the main agenda, we'd like to invite you to sing and listen to National Anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia
Iya. Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Ibu. There's some information we'd like to share to you this afternoon. We'd like to inform you that during the talks, you are invited to actively ask questions by texting your question in the chat box, Bapak Ibu, and also at the end of the sessions, you are required to fill the registration form. You can find the registration form in the chat box. And also, we request your consent that this session will be recorded for academic purposes. We are still in the pandemic of COVID-19, Bapak Ibu. Like to wish you stay healthy and stay happy. Bapak Ibu, to open this session, would like to invite Ibu Pratiwi Nadidia, Head of English Department, to give opening remarks of the sessions. Ibu Pratiwi, over to you.
Thank you very much, Pak Soeb, for the time for opening this best practices forum.
Yes, Ibu Pratiwi.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
right.
Yes, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his blessings and protection, so that up to now, during this challenging time, we are still in good health and safe and sound and still happy. And let's stay this way for as long as we can. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our best practices, and welcome to this forum. As the head of the English department, I'd like to introduce you, especially for those who are new to this forum. Our English department has been running two academic forums, and this one, best practices, is managed by my colleagues from the English Education Study Program, and we also run another forum called FOLILUX, or Forum on Language, Linguistics and Cultural Studies, managed by my colleagues from the English Literature Study Program. So as I said earlier, although this is a very challenging time, but that is not an excuse for us to stop being productive. Yeah, and in fact, as far as I can remember, in this year only, we have been running more than 10 academic forums, Pak Soeb, yeah, and Pak Chakim. So I'd really like to show my deepest appreciation to my colleagues for staying positive, for staying productive, in spite of all the hustle and bustle that we have in the office. Yeah. But I guess that also reflects our motto at UNESA, satu langkah di depan. It's also a way to promote our UNESA. So once again, I'd really like to show my deepest appreciation for your enthusiasm. And also I would like to show my gratitude to the speakers. Today we have Ibu Eka Devi Mayasari, or should I say Ustadzah Eka Devi Mayasari.
Hello.
So nice to see you again, Ibu Devi. Seeing you here really brings back a lot of good memories about you. I would also like to thank Ibu Yani Matofani from SD Aligmah Sukomanunggal for joining us. Thank you very much, Ibu, for agreeing to assist us in running this program. Both Bu Devi and also Bu Yani are teaching at primary schools, two prominent primary schools in Surabaya especially, but also I guess in Indonesia. So I suppose we we learn a lot about best practices for English classes during this online learning. Yeah? I think the idea of best practices, especially for those who are new to this program, the reason why we call this best practices is because we are not the ones who actually share things, share concepts, but we give space, forum for teachers to share their best practices. So basically, best practices is a community of practice. It's also a community of learners by teachers, from teachers, and for teachers. And that's why we always have teachers to share ideas that they usually practice in the class. As always, part of this program, we also have one colleague from the English department to also share. It's also a way to theorize practices. So with that in mind, for today's forum, we have Ibu Rahayu Kuswardani, who will also be sharing about our practices, yeah, the benefits and also the challenges that we have in the English department. So thank you very much for the three speakers for agreeing to assist us in running this program. I would also like to show my appreciation to Pak Munir as the head of English Education Study Program, and especially my colleagues who have been running best practices, yeah, this solid team. We have Pak Suab, Bu Ririn, of course, and then Pak Cakim, Bu Esti, is Bu Anis around? So thank you very much, yeah, for staying solid and always thinking about new ideas to share with everybody. So without further ado, I would just like to wish you a very productive session. I think what I usually say in this kind of forum is, let's get ready by emptying our glass, yeah, so that we can learn, we can be a sponge and then get a lot of things from other people. Thank you very much, everyone. So happy best practicing, if I could say that. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Over to you, Pak Asep.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Ibu Pratiwi, for sharing some insights for your insights during this best practice. So you mentioned that the importance of theorizing practices. That reminds us to the lecture by Pak Munir earlier this July, how Pak Munir gave a very provocative lecture related to theorizing practice. And I think Bapak Ibu, if you want to look further about the idea of theorizing practice and other guest lectures and also webinar series by English Department of UNESA, you can stay tuned on our YouTube channel, Department UNESA, and you can find some lectures by our lecturers. And hopefully in the future, we have other programs by inviting more teachers and practitioners to share their insights in our academic forums. Thank you very much, Bapak Ibu. So we to the main sessions. We have three speakers for this afternoon. We have Ibu, we have Ibu Yani Matofani of Al-Hikmah Surabaya, and also Ibu Eka Devi Mayasari from Al-Azhar 35 Surabaya, and also Ibu Rahayu Kuswardani from UNESA. For the first session, we would like to invite Ibu Yani Matofani to deliver the materials. Ibu Yani, over to you. Yes, Ibu Yani, you are still on mute. You may unmute now. Yes, Bu. Please.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'inu ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Good afternoon, everybody. Okay. Let me say thankful to Ibu Pratiwi as a head of English Department of Surabaya State University, Mr. Munir as a head of English Education Study Program at Surabaya State University, all of English teachers, student practitioners, and researchers who are joining this forum. It is an honor for me to be here to share my experience in teaching elementary school during this pandemic. But before I introduce myself, I really apologize because I can't speak English fluently. I'm not an English teacher. I just a teacher in charge in my school. Well, my name is Yani Matofani. I am teaching in Al Hikmah Elementary School. I've been teaching there for 17 years since 2003. Before I teach there, I used to I work in office. It's quite contrasting with my background. I have to move from office to education institution. Well, okay. When, as we know that since the appearance of COVID-19 in the world, all of it have new innovation in all their activity, including our education system. We have to move from normal to normal system. We have to make some adaptation, restrict adaptation to change our education system. Moreover, there is a call from Education Ministry that we have to make some social or physical distance between teacher and student, whereby student have to study from home and the teacher have to work from home. In every institution is required to be able to innovate their active effectively. Like or dislike, we have to change. But unfortunately, some of the institution cannot make some adaptation because they have some problem with their condition. The condition here, the condition with their infrastructure or in geographically, they cannot reach internet connection in their place. In this situation, in this pandemic, we are as a teacher have to be smarter to create, to arrange, to analyze, to design our learning system. We have to create a new learning model, new learning method, new learning style. Even we have to be smarter to create new learning method. How we create what we call in normal situation is Pakem Gembrot learning. Pakem Gembrot learning stand to pembelajaran aktif, inovatif, kreatif, efektif, menyenangkan, and Gembrot means gembira and berbobot. We have to create that learning in this limited situation, in this limited infrastructure. Everything is virtual. We have to do what we never do before. Maybe one of the method is character education. Character education, we can improve the knowledge of the student. We can improve the knowledge of the student. What is the importance of the healthy? How can prevent the dangers from COVID-19? Well, in this pandemic situation, the learning that we can give to our students probably not based on the curriculum anymore, because we have to simplify the curriculum. We have to use emergency curriculum to and we have to make sure that education in our country still can run well and never stop.
I'm so sorry, Bu Yani. Sorry for interrupting. Is it okay if you share your PowerPoint?
Okay.
Yeah, if you have your PowerPoint, if you have already prepared your PowerPoint, please share your PPT. Okay, thank you.
I will share my PowerPoint. Okay. Well, okay, this is such kind of learning methods during this pandemic. There are offline learning, online learning, and blended learning. But I use one of these learning. But I want to explain to you about the offline method before I go to blended learning. This method can be used on a green or yellow zone only by paying attention on strict health protocols, by using shift model to avoid the crowd. No more than 25% the total of the student allowed to attend this class. And this is the example of the offline class. We have to obey some strict protocol here, that school have to provide appropriate place for washing hands. The student and the teacher have to make some social distance, and they have to put on the mask on their face properly, and before entering the class, they have to make some temperature checking body by thermogun. We go to online method, that the student can use home facilities such as making some contents by using the goods, especially their gadget on their house. Well, education is not only obtained at the school, even out school we can use the technology to access the education. We can take so many advantages of the online platform, that we can be accessed for free to get the free knowledge from various parts of the world. The COVID-19 has resulted in the school shutdown all across the world globally. Over 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. Now we go to blended learning, that I use this method to teach my students. Well, according to the similar 2005, blended learning combines the best aspect of online learning and face-to-face activities. Blended learning is combined by two approaches all at once. There are online and face-to-face activities. There are some benefits of this method. The first is teacher can still deliver. Sorry. teacher can still deliver their lesson by make some social interaction with their student by any platform, any many education platform. The second is online learning and face-to-face activity is the same time use the various available platform and media. As we know, there are many online education platform in Indonesia, such as Microsoft Teams, Zenius, Ruang Guru, or Rumah Belajar. We can take so many advantages of that platform. Okay, I use Microsoft Office here because it is consists of many features that I can use in my teaching. There are Microsoft Form, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Whiteboard, Microsoft Word, and etc. I will give the example that I have applied in my teaching. Oh, sorry. Now we go to, I use also WhatsApp as a media. Because there are so many features that I can use. How can I open my
Bu Yani, you still have 10 more minutes.
Yes, still there is a problem? Yes, can we help?
Oh no. This is the example of what I applied in my classroom. I use PowerPoint as a media. Yeah. This is okay.
Yes,
That's
Ibu.
just the example. Okay, next. I use Microsoft Teams.
Would you please share your screen?
Yes.
Yes. The Microsoft Teams. Yeah, you may share the screen again.
Already I said sure.
No, screen share again. Would you please share the screen share again?
I already have it shared.
Share screen in the bottom icon, ma'am. Share screen so the audience can see the Microsoft programs that you have. Oh, this one.
This is the example that I have applied to my teaching in my class. Yeah, this is a Microsoft whiteboard that I use when I teach in my class, in my online class. This media helped me to explain to my students. This is the example of Microsoft Word that support my teaching. Okay, that's maybe I will give you more example from WhatsApp media. It's my WhatsApp. Well, okay, sir. I'm really sorry. I cannot find my WhatsApp. Oh, here. Here it is.
So
Still
maybe we
loading.
can,
Yeah,
yeah,
still
maybe
loading.
we can share idea, Ibu. So is that all the activities are in English or bilingual or?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not an English teacher. So when I teach in my class, I use Bahasa Indonesia. In WhatsApp media, we call in my office, we call virtual correction. This is such kind of virtual correction. This is the example of voice note that this is the first grade, in the first grade. Okay, there is some example by using voice note. If I teach in online class, we are not only teaching the student, but also the parents too. The next video, this is the video that we can conclude. This is the contextual teaching learning. Okay, the other example. they have to make some content.
Sorry, Bu Yani, just
Yes.
for your information that you have 5 minutes left.
Okay. This is making video to make some dialogue. This is character education example. Yeah, the example of character education, they have to help their parents in the house. Well, okay, maybe that's all from me. That the next opportunity I will give to Miss Devi.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much to Ibu Matofani for her presentation. Yeah, probably Bu Yani is a class teacher. Yeah, so
Yes,
she
class
teaches so
teacher.
many subjects, not only English but also some other subjects. Okay,
Yes.
now let's continue with the next presentation that will be delivered by Ibu Eka Devi Mayasari with the title Learning in the Time of COVID-19 at a Cambridge School. Yeah, Bu Eka Devi, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ibu Yani. I know very well how hard it is
Yeah,
to be.
Sorry, Bu Eka,
Yeah.
you have only 20 minutes, yeah, more or less.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ibu Yani and Pak Nur Hakim. I believe that it's a really great challenge to be a homeroom teacher. We call classroom teacher as homeroom teacher in our school because homeroom teacher has a really big responsibility, including communicating with parents and also all of the students. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and now I'm going to share you my screen. Is it there? Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Ibu.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you very
yes.
much. I'm Eka Devi Mayasari, and let's get to know me for a while before I continue my presentation. I'm UNESA graduate. I graduated in 2011, and I was a debater at UNESA back then from EDS. I've been teaching in Al-Azhar 35 Surabaya since 2010. That was before I graduated from UNESA. And I've been an English teacher, and I just currently got a new position as a vice principal. I've been also working in translation staffs, and I'm also a freelance tutoring. And this is about me. Some of the pictures you see here is here. They are here because they are supported by the school. So I want to show you how my school gives support for me to know the world. Okay, if you want to reach me to discuss about teaching, to discuss about Cambridge, or to discuss about anything, you can reach me through Facebook or WhatsApp. But you can also ask me in chat later after I finish my presentation. So now let's begin. My topic today is about learning in the time of COVID-19 at a Cambridge school. So before I start everything, I'd like to introduce you to a Cambridge school, or sometimes it's called as Cambridge International School. A Cambridge school is a school that uses Cambridge curriculum and is certified by Cambridge. And to get the certification, there are some requirements, including what we just had. Okay, so. Okay, so in the beginning of the establishment, there were some requirements that we had to provide to Cambridge. And in a particular time, like what we had in the just last month, we were also visited by Cambridge for reapproval. So just like accreditasi, in national system, we have accreditation. We also have accreditation in Cambridge, and they need to see whether the schools, whether Cambridge schools still have the, what do you call it? The requirements to be a Cambridge school. And this includes a visit, but due to the pandemic, we had it remote. So it was a virtual school tour, and they also had interview with parents, with students, and also teachers. They also had documents checked. They observed the class to see how the learning goes. And we also made a school presentation talking about the curriculum, the language that we use and everything to support the use of Cambridge curriculum. And from what happened when we are a Cambridge school? As a Cambridge school, we have these facilities, access to teaching and learning resources, both online and offline, professional development opportunities, a world-class curriculum. Cambridge curriculum has been used by around 10,000 of schools around the world. And this is offered to students between 5 to 19 years old. So it starts from the first grade of primary level. But in other countries, usually we have a student of primary 1 in the age of 7 years old. But in other countries, some of them are 5 or some of them are 6. But we do not have yet a program for kindergarten. So the Cambridge program is now offered for primary to senior high school. Okay, I'm not going to talk about English only as a subject to be taught in our school, but I will talk about how English is used in our school, not only as a lesson of English, but how it also supports the activities, how it also supports the learning, and how it's also used as language teaching in other subjects. So what happened in our school, language is used as a daily language. It's not a guarantee that everyone really uses English every day, but we support the use of English in everyday lessons. So homeroom teachers, class teachers, are equipped with the ability of English because they are the ones who are always the students from morning to afternoon, from the beginning of the class to the end of the class. So they are the one who will be in charge of the use of English in daily. And that's why in our school, homeroom teachers or class teachers have to also have skills of speaking English. Like Yani, for example, she was good. She's not English teacher, but she's good at speaking English, right? So this is one of the new development of English today. Just because you don't teach English doesn't mean you cannot, doesn't mean that you don't need English. English is now really used everywhere. Even if you are not an English teacher, if you are a teacher, you will need English because you don't know what kind of school you're going to face in the future. In our school, English is also used as the main language for Cambridge lessons. There are 3 Cambridge lessons that we teach at school, including math, English, and science. Do we have Matematika? Yes. Do we have IPA? Yes. So the students in our school have IPA and science. The IPA is taken from the national curriculum and the science is taken from Cambridge curriculum. It also happens for math. How about English? For English, we take it from Cambridge, but for primary 6, they will also have the national test, which is taken from Al-Azhar School for us. The English is also tested, and there are several tests of English in our school. In daily class, English is tested just like in any other schools. We have midterm tests, we have final tests, but for particular related Cambridge curriculum, we have some tests, including CYLET or Cambridge Young Learners English Test. This is like English as a second language or for young learners. We also have progression test. Progression test is conducted for primary 3 to 6, and it includes 3 subjects: math, science, and English. And the English itself is divided into either first language or second language. As a first language, the students are considered to be the native users of English. So they do not see whether we are from Indonesia, whether we are from England, but this is set for any of the students with English as the daily language. But we also provide English as a second language, and this is tested only for primary 5. At the end of primary 6, we also have checkpoint. This checkpoint is also including 3 subjects: math, science, and English. And 3 of them are from Cambridge. So all of these tests from Cambridge are taken from Cambridge, checked by Cambridge, and marked by Cambridge, and we send it to Cambridge in UK. Other than tests and lessons, we also have students' performance, just to show how the students have mastered the English. We have SLC. This is by the end of academic year. So when we give the report to the parents, we also have SLC, or student-led conference. This is the chance where the students shows what they have learned in particular subjects. Some of them will use Bahasa, some of them will use English. It depends on what they choose to perform to the parents. We also have Science Day, where the students show the skill of doing experiment in English. We have International Day. We usually bring up the cultures of some countries, sometimes India, Japan, China, Korea, with English as the language. We also have Immersion, where we have exchange of school. We visited some schools in some countries like Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and the students have a chance to study there for 3 or 4 days. And we also have final year performance. This is the example of our final year performance. We use 3 languages here, including Bahasa, English, and Arabic, but we do not actually have Arabic class. So we only have Bahasa in English. And this is the example of the cover of the test for Cambridge test. You see here, for the English, we have non-fiction and also fiction. So in every test of checkpoint or progression test, English, it's like if you are a graduate of English department, you know, you learn about fiction and non-fiction, right? And this is also taught since primary level in a Cambridge school. So whenever the students have English tests from primary 3, they will also have 2 kinds of papers, 2 types of text, which is fiction and non-fiction. So since early age, they know that this is something fictional and this is fact. We teach this since primary 3. So how is English used in our school? Not that all lessons are taught in English, but this is how it's used. For Cambridge lessons, as I mentioned, math, science, and English, we use full English since primary 3 to primary 6. We also, how about primary 1 and 2? For Cambridge lessons, for primary 1 and 2, we use mixed language between Bahasa and Indonesia. So code mixing, code switching are used by the teachers because we believe that in primary 1 and 2, this is their first level. For many students, primary 1 and 2 are the first years for them to study English. So we don't really have serious tests here. They do have tests, but the Cambridge test is given since primary 3. So we consider that primary 1 and 2 are preparatory classes. English or, mixed language are also used in non-Cambridge lessons. For example, civics or PKN, IPS. The content is in Bahasa, but sometimes we use the classroom language. So we have this set of classroom language where teachers will address the students in English, and the students will get used to like asking for permission in English. So this is to encourage the students to be able to use English in daily life. We also use Cambridge English in our daily classroom language. So English is not something weird for students, and our teachers are able to use English. Yeah. So even for national curriculum teachers, they are also equipped with English. Then they also support the learning environment with English. And this is the lessons of Cambridge, as I mentioned earlier: math, science, and English. On the right side, this is a book. So every year, the students of primary 6 will always have to write a book. But this is a collection of the students' writing. We always have different topic in every year. And the last graduation, we used this topic because it was already in COVID-19 pandemic. So the students wrote their experience of staying at home, what was good about it, what was bad about it, everything is here. So this belongs to primary 6. Sometimes the students write their biography, sometimes the autobiography of their family. There are so many different topics that we bring up in every graduation. Okay, I'm going to show you a video how the learning in our school is. Give me a time. How to do it? Can I stop it for a while? Okay. This is the video. I hope everyone can see it clearly. And there you go.
They're read, yeah. Materials and my assignments. Okay, if you wanna ask me a question, yeah, there's this kelihatan? Ya udah. Ya segala sesuatu itu pasti ada solusinya. Ya. Biar orang tua yang balas dendam. Tuh, biar orang tua yang balas dendam nggak boleh. Mister udah ngasih tugas. Udah. Tugasnya halaman berapa? Kerasin suaranya, Mister. Jadi boleh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Takbir.
Takbir. Okay, no problem. Okay, Patan, I'll give you 5 minutes for you to go to toilet, to go to drink, yeah? As they lost me when I was a child. I want everyone to do this like this, yeah?
This is Billy and Splotch. Billy and Splotch are in a spaceship. They are looking for animals in space.
Okay, so on that page, what do you see on that page? I'm gonna ask you one by one, okay? Alicia first, because Alicia already turning on her microphone. So, what do you see on that page?
I see there is a human is still asleep, but they not wake up.
One of the materials you've discussed with Mr. Daud is about what? Hello? The girl? Hello,
Yes.
the girl? Yeah, do you know what you discussed materials with Mr. Daud?
Talking about some stories.
Story, yeah, the story about what?
Students, the students is only 9 in Google Meeting. And I've checked the time, I've checked my clock. It's still 7:30. Mr. Bagus, it's still 7:30.
My screen. Let's see your screen. What shapes are these? What is this shape? Triangle, circle, and square. What is square?
Where do you get your herbarium stuff? Maybe from the garden, or maybe you go. Okay, in your house. Maybe you ask for some from your neighbor, like Alicia.
Okay, so that was more or less the learning in our class. I'll get back here.
Sorry, Bu Devi, you have 5 more minutes.
Okay, it's so quick. All right, so let me just go on. Because we need English environment, so we have a lot of things to do. And mainly for English, we have this to do in the classroom. We have repetition. Sometimes the teachers, no matter whether it's online, the teacher still has to use gesture. Visualization is very, very important. And this is, I believe, the main thing that we do in the classroom, either with pictures, with videos, with puppets. Reading aloud is also a must. In one of the scene of the video, that was me reading aloud for my students to teach them pronunciation, to teach them intonation, and etc. And writing, we still teach the students writing in either physically or typing, independent or copying. Copying is mainly for lower grade. Some teachers, they are very creative in using games. Unlike me, I'm not so creative. Total physical response is used mainly for lower grades like primary 1, 2, sometimes for primary 3. And we also have project. The project is used from primary 1 to 6. Like in my class now, I give a project for my students to make a mind mapping about different types of text, and they have to present it. Sometimes I also have storytelling project for the students. And these are the digital platforms that we use. We use Google Classroom. We also use Spin the Wheel. This is good. You can try this in your classroom if you're a teacher. And let me tell you about this whiteboard.fi. Whiteboard.fi allows your students to write at the same time, and you can also show it to your screen and show it to the students. Yeah. So this is the collection of the students' whiteboard. It's interesting. It's not only your whiteboard. They don't need to see your whiteboard. They want to show their whiteboard, right? So you can use this. And Tasmos for the tests. We also have Quizlet. Quizlet is good if you want to teach them by using flashcards. And Kahoot. Our students really love Kahoot because it's like a real quiz. And this is how my Google Classroom looks like. In one of the projects, I give the students assignment of storytelling. And the instruction is from the video that I upload to YouTube. So I upload my video giving the instruction in YouTube. And then I import this to my Google Class. And this is how the students submitted the work. It's very practical because you have everyone's video here. You don't need a really big capacity in your mobile phone. Everything is here. And you can also ask the students to have handwriting photoed and sent here. So this is how my Google Classroom looks like. Okay, this is interesting because a lot of people think with internet connection, with IT support, with great human resources, great teachers, everything is okay. But that's not everything. Just because you have all of the IT support, just because you are surrounded with teachers who have continuous training, sometimes obstacles are there because you do not know what happened at home. Yeah. Parental supervision, the lack of basic English skill, especially in lower grades like primary 1 and 2, are the obstacles that are faced by us. Also, the time allocation, we only have 30 minutes, 45 minutes for every subject in a week. And sometimes the students are in the position with parents, with sisters, with brothers, noisy home and everything. All of this all together bring up the obstacles for us. Okay, now let's move back to the Cambridge curriculum as the main idea of this presentation. Cambridge also provides us with a lot of supports, including tools, the webinars for teachers, resources for students. But again, no matter how many supports that we have, we still need communication. Like what Ibu Yani said earlier, when you teach online, you don't only teach the students, but you also teach the teachers, and that you also teach the parents. Yeah, and that is real, because every time we use this tool, we have to teach the parents, especially for lower grade. But the challenges are lower in higher grades, like primary 6, primary 5, primary 4, because they are more independent. And these are what we do to support the learning. Communication is the key to the success of the learning. Communication, me as a subject teachers of English, for example, I have to communicate with the homeroom teachers or class teachers. For example, if I have the students coming out, come and go from the gym, there must be something with him. So I need to talk to him through the homeroom teachers also, and he will communicate this with the parents. We also have additional class. So for example, if the school finish at 1, we usually have additional class for particular students, for only students who we consider need the additional class. And we have remedial teaching for particular students also. So these are our supporting system. And in conclusion, if you think that with IT support, with qualified teachers, everything is okay, it is not like that. Yeah, there are always obstacles, and even day by day, we are still trying to cope with this. And challenges of online teaching is always there, especially in school with high level needs of English exposure. Thank you very much. And that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ibu Eka Devi, for the presentation. And now we come to the final presentation that will be delivered by Ibu Rahayu Kuswardani. Yeah. Okay, Ibu Rahayu, time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's been a great day for me to meet two incredible teachers, Ibu Yani and Ibu Devi. I think I'm more like into theoretical than practical. Let me share my screen. Right. So here is my slides. So I'm going to talk about teaching and learning in the university level. Maybe it's not so attractive compared to other teachers, but my point in my slides confirm the two previous presenters that the changes from offline to online, and then the the support while doing the online teaching and learning. So let me start by giving you a definition of virtual world. It refers back to Bartle, who suggests that in 1970s and 1980s, a resident being self-contained can be called a person, right? And then Kosher refined it, the definition of virtual world, into a specially virtual environment which can be experienced by numerous participants at once. So we are in the world, not literally refers to the earth or the space like school or classroom, but the virtual can be called a world as itself because it can be experienced by numerous participants in one time. And then in university, the virtual learnings share definitions with learning community that is autonomous, independent individuals engaging by giving some influence to each other within learning process. So by doing virtual world, actually we are doing a community learning, which requires the person to become autonomous and independent. And how they get in touch with each other is by giving influence. And this community takes several characteristics. There are 4 characteristics of virtual world as a learning community. That is negotiation, intimacy, commitment, and engagement. In negotiation, you have to set a rules and system that can be negotiated among members of learning community. So if I may take the example of 2 classes that Ibu Ye and Ibu Devi are having. So it's better to set rules like what time should we meet, and then how do participants involve each other during the process of learning, of online learning. So those rules and sets can be negotiated among members. And then intimacy. Intimacy means achieving personal gratifying levels of closeness and familiarity. So because we are saying levels of 5 star in terms of physical appearance of physical context, all members of learning community should feel closeness and should feel familiar since science is far on care of physical appearance levels of physical contact or could behind your machine and in the cell you means of and as long as all members and you start of how bigger but that's not a function. Do often no, that classes you know that you I'm ready. How do you start and weakness
I'm so sorry, Bu Ayu. It seems that the voice is not so clear. Probably there is a problem with the internet connection. I'm so sorry, Bu Ayu. I problem with the internet connection. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ibu Rahayu. It seems to be that there is a problem with internet connection, that the voice is not clear. Okay, now let's move to the question and answer session. So here we give opportunities for each presenter to answer one question. Yeah, start from Bu Yeni, and then the next questions for Ibu Eka, and the last is the question for Ibu Rahayu. Yeah, Ibu Yeni, I think it is time for you to answer one of the questions given to you. Yeah, time is yours.
Okay. This question, this question is from
you
Mr. Misbahun.
Answer one of the questions.
So, sorry, sir. I cannot hear your voice. Hello?
Yeah, go on, Bu Yani.
Question is which Mr. Misbahun hadir firman online
Yeah, it seems that the voice is not clear because of the instability of the voice. Uh, Okay, I'm so sorry, Bu Yani, because the voice is not clear. Yeah, so we move to the second questions for Ibu Eka Devi. Yeah, Bu Eka Devi. Yeah, time is yours to answer one of the question.
Yes, and 27. Assessments or questions only, and the average score is 73. So I'll show you this. Okay, this is how it looks like in our dashboard. And I do not have multiple choice like A, B, C, D questions. No, it's mostly reading and understanding. This is type of Cambridge questions. Yeah, same one text. This is a story from other culture. This is how the question looks like. And this is how the results goes. We can check everything here. So it's very complete. Even here, we can also see who are the students online opening the test, and is there anyone who is opening the other tab, because they will, when the students are doing the test, we can see how many are online and how many are leaving this. And This is how it looks like to the students. Let me see. This is how the students have to log in. It's something like that. But this is not everything, because we have to send this to Google Classroom. Everything should be sent to Google Classroom because this is everything that we give to the students. And I'll show you how it looks like in my class. So all of the subjects are here. In every class, we have all of these subjects. So me as a subject teacher, we only need to post to my class, which is English. This is my assessment, my project. Reading exercise. Okay. This is my reading exercise, same as the assessment. So from this Testmos, I will send it here. The result will also be sent here. Now we can just check it here, but because it's linked to Testmos, so I will just check the student score here. So there you go. But because this questions is not multiple choice, so I have to check one by one. For example, for Deandra here, it's really sensitive to words, and the answer may vary between one to the other student. So for essay or short answer, I have to check one by one. So this is how we conduct the assessment. We don't use, what do you call it, Google Form. All of the teachers use here. So when we open this Testmos, we can have all of the assessments from primary 1 to primary 6. There are so many of it, from assessment, from exercise, all of the lessons are here. So that's how we conduct the assessment. I hope it answers your question. If you want to know how to use this, you can also talk to me later after the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer, Ibu Eka Devi. And then, is there any questions for Ibu Rahayu? Okay, while waiting for Ibu Rahayu, let's continue with come back to Ibu Yeni. Yeah, Ibu Yeni Matofani. Yeah, Ibu Yeni can have the second chance to answer the second question. I'm so sorry for the first question. It is not so clear because there is a trouble with the internet connection. Probably the problem in Ibu Yeni's internet connection, and also at UNESA. Yeah, so that's why previously we apologize that we could not hear your voice clearly. Now, the second chance, Ibu Yeni, to answer the second question.
Okay, thank you, Pak Hakim. This question is from Mr. Misbahun Haidir Firmansyah from English Department UNESA alumni. The question is, how do you conduct grouping activities in online learning? Well, thank you, Mr. Misbahun, for giving me the questions. I will divide my class into small group, and then I will joining that group when they have some presentation by using WhatsApp media. We have make some video conference, and I will give the assessment there, and I will give the response, and I will help them when they have a problem with the subject matter. Maybe that's all my answer, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Bu Yeni. What about Ibu Eka? Do you still have any questions to answer?
That was durian question.
Oh, the only question, yeah.
Yeah, I hate durian because I never really eat durian. That's the answer.
Okay. What about Ibu Rahayu? Ibu Rahayu, do you have questions from participants?
I'm not sure if I have questions from the audience.
Okay, still, yeah. We are still waiting for other questions from the participants, yeah. You can post your questions in the chat box, yeah, for all three presenters, yeah. to Ibu Yani, Ibu Eka, or Ibu Rahayu. Okay, come back to Ibu Yani. I think for the first question, because it is not so clear, yeah, probably you can repeat, yeah, once again about your answer dealing with the first question.
The question is from Mr. Misbahun Haidir Firmansyah from English Department UNESA alumni. Mr. Haidir asked me that how do you conduct grouping activities in online learning? Thank you for Ms. Bahun Haidir Firmansyah for giving me some questions. In my teaching, I divide into small group in my class, and I will join in that group.
Wow.
I will give the assessment. I will give the response. I will help my students when they have some problem, when they have some presentation. Usually in a small group, I use WhatsApp media and video call as a media. Yeah, that's simple answer for me. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Ibu Yani. Yeah, still we still have time, yeah, for the all audience to post questions in the chat box. Yeah, if you still have questions, please write it down in the chat box. So here we are discussing about teaching English during pandemic outbreak, yeah, and there are two presenters in the primary education level, and one is from university level. So we still miss, yeah, two levels from junior high school and senior high school. Probably for the next best practices, yeah, for junior high school English teachers and senior high school English teachers, yeah, you may have the chances, yeah, to become presenters or the speakers in this academic forum. Okay, question for Ibu Rahayu, yeah.
Yes, I got questions. Finally. Okay, one is from the YouTube online. There is an emergency curriculum in school levels declared by Minister of Education. Does university level also need it? Yes, we do need it. The emergency curriculum in school. I still remember March 14, the rector of UNESA decided to close down all classes, and then we have to adapt rapidly from offline teaching to online teaching. So it does very emergent. What is it? The instruction for rector, and then in the first time I used the WhatsApp group because not everybody familiar with Google Meet. Zoom is still expensive, so the shortest, the practical way is a WhatsApp group. And then the second one is students' autonomy. My question is how we develop students' autonomy. From my experience during these 2 semesters teaching online, I give students assignment, and we are now familiar with the Google Meet. So I ask them to present their work during Google Meet. In Google Meet, I teach paper writing. So I ask individually for students to present their progress in writing. So the learner's autonomy is I ask them, I give them assignment for my students to look for references that they needed for their writing. And for other classes such as cross-cultural understanding, we opened like a question and answer session. So what they have in their mind about culture, they can ask, and then their friends can give support. I mean, they can share opinions, say say anything if they want to say about culture. Yeah, I think that should be all, Pak Hakim. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Rahayu. Now we give the last chance to Ibu Devi. Yeah, Ibu Eka Devi. There is one more question from the participant.
Okay, it's from Ali Muhti Al-Hikam. Ms. Devi, do you really avoid using multiple choice questions? Or maybe the test is already provided. No, I make the test on my own because every teacher will make the test on their own based on what we teach. But we adjust our test based on what the students have in the final test for Cambridge. If you can actually also open the Cambridge type of questions, you can just check, you can just Google Cambridge primary checkpoint, and you will see there are a lot of examples of English tests, fiction, non-fiction, paper 1, paper 2. They do not have multiple choice like A, B, C, but it's more on ticking, on short answer, and writing. So it's reading and writing. I do have that multiple questions like UN, but it's only for primary 6, and that is for Bahasa Inggris curriculum as the fulfillment of ujian sekolah. But for the rest of the levels, the rest of the tests, we adjusted with the way Cambridge assess the students as a first language. But in Cambridge questions, English as a second language, there are multiple questions A, B, C. So basically what we do is depending on what kind of test we are preparing for students. In primary 5, for example, in particular time, I will prepare them to take Cambridge primary checkpoint, English as a second language. So I will prepare them for this test. But for our daily tests, for midterm tests, semester tests, and for progression tests, I prepare this the way the Cambridge said it, for English as the first language, because in our school, we use English mainly as the first language. So that's what happened. I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Devi. Ibu Rahayu?
Yes, thank you. I have two questions actually, one from YouTube and the other one is from the chat group. From YouTube, what strategies are used to motivate students in participating virtual learning? So the strategies is I assign them to individual presentations and group presentations. So my strategies is for them is student-centered. So I'm not giving much information. I'm not presenting many slides for my students. The slides is from them. I think it's more relaxed if I teach in university because I can give my students assignment very much different with teachers who are teaching in a primary level, don't you think, where students are not so independent? Yeah, if I allow to say that. And then how would you depict and give a lesson of cross-cultural lesson? The team have this set of material or lesson that should be completed by the students. And very fortunate that my students from class 2017, they have to go to school for school experience. So cross-cultural lesson, I took from their example in school, like gender roles, and then intercultural communications, and then some values from schools and from the students themselves, and then talking about attitude, about junior and senior. So the context of cross-culture, I take it from the students' experience from school. so not outside. So if happen that they don't bring themselves very properly, for example, they don't cut their hair for the male students, or they don't dress appropriately, or maybe they don't bring themselves properly online, I asked what reactions do they get from the students? Do they listen to you? And then they said that one student is playing dangdut song while she is presenting a material. So that's one example of culture experience for new teachers to experience school and teaching. I hope I can answer your questions. I think that's all. Yeah.
One more. Bu Rayu, would you please check one more question? Yeah, one more question. This is the last question. Yeah, for Ibu Rahayu.
Oh, from Ibu Devi. No, I think the last question is for Bu Devi.
Okay. One more question for Ibu Devi. Yeah, Ibu Devi.
I also get a question here from MSD. Okay, it's probably
one question. Yeah, the last question.
Okay, first of all, this question Miss Esti gave me is what would make your school different from the others, as you said that you also encountered challenges. I think the biggest differences between my school and other schools is on the language environment, because despite the challenges, we still try to keep the English environment in a particular way. As you see that the homeroom teachers, the subject teachers, they all try to use English still. Maybe the main problems that we face is that on the limitation of the time and how we cannot really see the students in the process, for example, in writing, because visually when we have the offline class, we would be there with the students. But here we only see the result. So this process is something that we cannot see now. But despite everything, we still try to give the curriculum the way we did when we had offline with some adjustments. So that is my answer about the difference between our school. We still bring up the English or the language as the icon of our school. And then face the pandemic, so do my school has done well lesson. Is there any particular program? Okay, mostly Cambridge provides us with teachers training. And I think it helps a lot. Also because there are so many new teachers in my school. They are so new to Cambridge. They have to know how Cambridge is run. They have to know how Cambridge is different from national curriculum. And this continuous training is really helpful. Like this year, we have more than 5 new teachers teaching Cambridge. So this help provided by Cambridge really helped the teachers. But on the students' material, we create this on our own. That's how we adjust with the situation of the pandemic. Thank you very much. That's my answer.
Okay, thank you very much. The answer from Ibu Eka Devi. Yeah, I think this is the last questions, and yeah, we are very happy. We are very pleased to meet all these 3 outstanding speakers. Yeah, in this academic forum. Yeah, Ibu Yani, although she's not an English teacher, but she is a classroom teacher, but she loves English very much. Yeah, and she has very high talent. Yeah, in teaching by using English. And the second one is Ibu Eka Devi. Yeah, we are very curious about Cambridge curriculum. So in Ibu Eka Devi School, it is combined, it is integrated, probably 3 curriculum, yeah, Ibu Devi.
Yes.
Cambridge curriculum, national curriculum, and probably religion
Al-Azhar.
curriculum.
Al-Azhar curriculum.
Yeah, wow, yeah, 3 curriculum. And then Ibu Rahayu, yeah, Ibu Rahayu speaks more theoretical, yeah, in theoretical perspective, while Ibu Yani and Ibu Eka is more practical. Yes, I think we need to end this academic forum, best practices. So we still welcome to all other teachers, English teachers, to become the next presenters for the next best practices, academic forum. So especially for secondary level, junior high school and senior high school. So for those who are teaching in junior high school and senior high school, so we are waiting for your participation to become presenters for the next best practices. Okay, I think that's all. I need to remind you, please fill out the exit ticket, in the chat box before you leave this webinar. Okay, for the last, I give it back to Pak Sweb, for some information. Yes, Pak Sweb.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Ibu. Thank you, Pak Kim. Thank you, the speakers, Ibu Devi, Ibu Yeni, and Ibu Rahayu, for having shared powerful insights and stories from your classroom. It's not easy to become teachers during the pandemic, of course, and I can't wait to listening more about the stories from other teachers during the pandemic. Bapak Ibu, we are still opening the opportunity for you who want to share your stories as teachers while you are teaching English during the pandemic for the next term of best practice. So hopefully it is scheduled on February. So if you're free, please don't hesitate to contact us for the next for the upcoming best practice. So the last information, Bapak Ibu, please don't forget before you leave this room, try to fill the attendance list, the exit ticket in the chat box, and the certificate will be sent by the committee based on the exit ticket maximum 1 week after this webinar. So please stay tuned on your email. So if you have any questions, please contact the committee. Thank you very much for your participation, and we'll see you again on the next webinar and also in the next best practice. Good afternoon and see you. Bye-bye, Bapak Ibu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.